Welcome to the Asian Dating Podcast. I'm your host, May Bugenhagen. I am the founder of Two Asian Matchmakers, a boutique matchmaking company that started in Los Angeles in 2009. And today I help men all across the US to meet an Asian partner. And today I have a guest on the show, Xiaoli Mei. She is a San Francisco matchmaker. Xiaoli Mei, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for inviting me. Yeah, I always love to chatting with you.
Yeah. Tell the audience a little bit about how you got started and what is your most passionate thing about this industry and why do you love it so much?
I started with the coaching first, 10 years ago. I coaching singles how to finding love. Naturally, all the coaching clients asking me to see if I can match them. And then that's how I become a matchmaker. I think it's a really fulfilling business to me, is helping people to be happy in a relationship. So that, the joy, the happiness, it's really beyond the material thing. That's why it really makes me happy. So based on my previous working experience, I was in HR recruiting people. So it's like a perfect fit in a way. I'm doing this recruiting for love now, not for business. Yeah. So it's good.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of matchmakers start off as a recruiter or maybe a real estate agent is very similar, where instead of matching people to houses, you're matching people to people. So I could see how there's a parallel with these industries and how people get started. But I guess if you're a people person, then you're a people person, right? Like you genuinely love people and helping them and talking to them, and you just want what's best for them. So,
Yes, yes. Yeah, it's either HR or a real estate agent. It is all started with people oriented. This is a people oriented business. I just love talking to people, new people every day. Love to learn, what they're looking for, what are their dreams, goals. It's just fascinating to
yeah.
me to meet new people. Yeah, yeah.
So, as a matchmaker, how do you handle a client who's looking for an unnatural match? For example, a guy who's looking for a certain type of woman, but that woman is actually not looking for him. Like, how do you handle clients that are reaching for somebody not looking for them?
I think for every client coming to us, we really understanding their criteria. Like everybody has, list of qualities they're looking for. And I'm not only just taking whatever they say on the paper. I really trying to understand the reason behind that. Because people only give you what they know. So based on their past experience. I want this type of woman because in the past I met those, maybe few of them or one of them I feel connected well. So they think that moving forward, it should be, stick on this way. So by understanding the reason, I always let them try, especially in the beginning to match what they're looking for exactly. But then also let them know if things didn't work out, that means you need a really expanding your comfort zone and are going to try something new. So it's a dating to me, it's always an experiment. It's a process. So in the beginning, their criteria, by the end, their criteria will be sometimes 50% different. But my approach is different. Maybe some matchmakers will tell them right in the beginning, say, okay, this is not the way you're going to find your love. You got to do my way. And I always more mellow in that approach. I will acknowledge, okay, if this is what you think, what you want, let's try to find it, someone for you. And then it came back, it will be, we found someone really fits his criteria, but things didn't work out. Then we will dive into the reason why. Or we will just after a while just say, you know what, no one will say yes to you because The reason is because we give the client feedback why women say no, and then he will realize, oh, okay, then maybe my criteria is unrealistic. I give you an example. So I used to have a Asian doctor who's not tall, but somehow he's really into tall, women. So the women has to be taller than him, or at least the same. And then he's into non-Asian women. So and then has to be, other criteria, very picky. Uh, then, when we started giving him matches and all the girl, potential candidates just say no to him after knowing his height and then knowing he also want a big age gap. So we basically just provide all the matches fits what he's looking for, and then let him to pick. And what after he picked, and we go back to those candidates and present his profile information, and then it's like 90% of rejection, very high. And then he realized it's something he's unrealistic, and then we dive into the reason why he's looking for some just artificial physical traits, not into a girl's personality. What is really making him happy? A girl at all like look like a model, or a girl is sweet, caring. So that's how the process made him realize that, okay, I'm not just here gonna picking the hot models, yeah. So
Yeah.
that's my approach.
So your approach is give them who they want, and then over time help them understand that, hey, maybe who you need is not who you want, but rather, why don't you try this person because she seems to meet 80% of your criteria, just to have an open mind, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I feel like,
So usually, yeah, in the first, few matches, it's like exactly in a way what they're looking for. And I let them pick. So
yeah,
they cannot blame us like, oh, you didn't give us the matches I'm looking for. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So when you set up someone on a first date and then they go out on a second date, how do you coach your clients that how should a second date be different than the first date? What are some things that they should be asking or being more aware of?
For the first day, we usually give a little tips like orientation, what you do, you do not do. For the second day, I really depend on clients. Some client will come back ask for tips for second day. Some clients just feel like they get it all taken care of, they know it all. So we give advice on second day, really based on uh each client's needs. But for second day, we will always suggest to not just always go for meal, like do some activity. And then, like you can ask the girl what she likes to enjoy, uh, on weekends, off work, maybe go hiking or museum. They just do something activity wise. And then they can still after activity go for a dinner, not only just eating. First day, it's highly recommended just in a quiet place, so you can really get to know each other. Yeah. But for second day, we still don't recommend like a movie, because a movie you cannot really talk to each other, right? Or dancing. And I think I mentioned that before. I matched a couple first date going to dancing lesson. Oh my God, they were like 10 minutes, every 10 minutes, just switch a partner. So you cannot really talk to your match.
Yeah, it sounds great to do an activity on a first date, but it's kind of not realistic. For example, I see people saying, oh, yeah, we could just go to the gym or go play pickleball on the first date. But if you're playing pickleball, you're actually not talking either. So it's just kind of awkward. I like the first date where maybe it's a dinner, maybe it's drinks with appetizers, or maybe it's just coffee and you have a great conversation and you talk, or maybe you go out for a walk afterwards. Like all those things are fine. I don't feel like it has to be an activity on a first date because you're too distracted with other things. But maybe that's just me. I just like the more traditional, let's sit down and get to know each other in a quiet restaurant or a quiet table in the corner, and you sit almost like at an L, so you're not sitting right across from each other like an interview, but rather sit next to each other. Or if you sit at a bar, I heard that somebody said that men tend to open up more if they're side by side
Yeah,
on a
yeah.
drive
That's
versus, sitting across from each other. So who knows? I mean, those are some good tips if you have the option of sitting next to each other versus sitting across from each other.
Yeah, like a second day, if you know you're in Bay Area, drive to Napa Valley for wine tasting. That's a great way because you're driving together, you sit next to each other talking. There's so many different things. Go to baseball game. I heard, and then client also one client also asked me before, like, oh, on which date should I invite my date coming to my house? What do you think? Like on which day, number of day they should.
I feel like if you're inviting someone to your house, you really like them, or you feel comfortable enough that you're inviting them to your personal space. So a lot of times people might cook dinner on the third date for their date and see what happens there. But when you invite someone to your house, you're pretty much saying, "Hey, I'm okay. I'm ready to make out with you," right? Like you want to become intimate and you want to talk to them or kiss them or have some public display of affection with each other. So that's my thing. If you're inviting someone to your house, you better be ready to maybe take that next step. Otherwise, keep things in public. What do you think?
Well, I think either third day, fourth day, fifth day, it's okay to have a dinner, but I always advise, female members not to get into intimate too quickly, because there should be a talk before we really get to very intimate. But I think holding hands, maybe a little kiss here, there is fine.
Yeah.
If you want to go to really physical, it should take a little bit of longer time because you both want to make sure it's the right person to be exclusive. At least you have to ask for exclusive with, not meeting others. In matchmaking, we face that to a client can get a, couple of matches, three matches. But some a client will say, okay, I want to be exclusive with this particular match, so don't give me your match. But in the beginning, it's fine because you kind of just explore, right? Meeting new people. We always say just like meeting new people.
Yeah.
But being physical, it should have a little bit of serious talk. Yeah, that's my
So
my suggestion. Yeah.
how would you go about advising people, adults, on how to expand their social circle and meet people organically on their own?
Meeting people on their own, it takes, I mean, time or depend on the personality. So it just really you have to get out there, meeting people, and then you gotta make a conversation. So it really depend on. I mean, there's so many ways you can, just Google how to meet people on your own. It give you so many suggestions. But whatever the suggestion you're reading, it's all similar, right? You go friends, gathering, you go half an hour, happy hour or business, activity. Those are very time consuming. Trust me. And you have to think about the driving, traffic time, right? But a lot of time when you get there, it's like how you open the conversation. It depends on personality. Some people naturally are connected. You can just talk to people at the party, but some people are not. So what do you do? I used to have a lady who I gave her the same suggestion. She want to meet people organically because she didn't want to. pay for the service. It's just too expensive. So I said, yeah, I encourage her. I even forward some meetup events to her. And then she came back to me and said, oh, I hate it because I was there. I feel so silly. I didn't want to talk to anyone. Like I feel awkward. So in that case, matchmaking is the perfect because we talk all the, pre stuff for you. And then you can just sit down to talk to someone who has the same intention to finding someone. And all you needed to do is see if, you two have a chemistry. But at the party, it's really hard because you don't know if he's single or if he's married. It's just like he's divorced. Does he have a kids? Does he want have a kids? You don't know until probably several dates later if he go on dates with you. Yeah.
It is tougher for people who are introverted or they're shy and they want to meet people. It's almost like you have to really go and do hobbies that you enjoy doing. So you're out and about anyway. And it's a bonus if you meet someone that you like. So, yeah, I mean, there are tennis clubs you can join or, pickleball clubs that you can join, running club on Meetup. It's really just getting out there, I feel like, and do the stuff that you enjoy anyway. And if you meet somebody, that's the icing on the cake. That's like a bonus. Um, but yeah, it's getting out there so you're interesting and you do fun things that when you do have a date, you can talk about it. So talk about
Yeah, but
fun
but
things.
the thing is, when you're going out, enjoy the activities, you just don't know. You cannot predict is today I'm gonna meet the one or tomorrow. It just you have, there's no timeline. I mean, that's the thing. You just enjoy yourself, and the mentality is if he show up, he show up, or she show up, show up, right? However, matchmaking is like a project. You have a certain time, like in that time period, how many people you meet, because it's also statistics. I found my husband with this method, not like through matchmaking, but because I was single mom. I had two kids. There's no way I can like spontaneously just go out to attending any activities. I have to have a babysitter. So I give myself, ways like a summertime, if my kids spend the time with the grandparents, and I have a 3 months, 4 months, like a free time. I really take the time, like just meeting people, one after another. That's how I do it.
Yeah.
But when I'm meeting them, I'm not turning everyone into the one. I don't know which one will be the one, but I just enjoy, meeting new people. But I do find a certain time in that 3 months time, I meet a lot of people.
Yeah. It's very strategic, right? It's very,
Exactly.
you have to
Yeah.
have a plan. You have to have the mindset of, okay, even though I'm tired, I'm still going to go out with this group of friends because I told them I was going to go out and meet them for happy hour. And you just make the best of it. So you have to not be a lazy dater when you're looking for somebody. There's so many, I mean, I guess that's why we're in business, right? Is because there are so many people out there who are just lazy daters. Like I'm looking at their profiles and I'm like, you didn't even put any time into your online dating profile. Like, how are you going to attract the woman that you want to attract if you're just so lazy about it? You can't just say you're doing online dating because you entered your info and put a couple photos up. You're not actually doing online dating unless you're doing the work, right? So I just feel like people who are dating and want to find somebody, you just got to put in the work. And if you want a shortcut, then you hire a matchmaker because even just me and you, Xiaoli, we've worked together and we have a very high success rate with the clients that we partner up with. Like they do end up being in a relationship. And if they aren't in a relationship while they're working with us, they certainly have had a lot of date coaching through us that they end up finding someone on their own, but they thank us for helping them get their feet wet and give them advice and make them go through the motions of dating so they gain the confidence. I feel like it's a lot of confidence that you need to be out dating. It's like you're being judged, right? By the men and women when you're online. So you might as well get some help so you kind of can meet that person sooner. I guess that's why
Yeah,
people pay us is to meet that
confidence,
person sooner.
confidence, yeah, confidence is from, repetition. So anything, confidence in playing pickleball is like a keep practicing, right? And then you get your confidence because you're getting better and better. Same as a dating. A lot of people, either young people, they didn't have a much dating experience, or people who been, married for a long time and are just divorced, kind of out market for long. It is all about how to build a confidence in dating, the skills. So that actually is just through practice. And a client who are open to meet every matches we give to her or him, and I know this client will fast finding someone faster because he just really going out to meet people, to practice his dating skill, communication skill, get to know the person. But if people coming to us very picky and on their criteria, I know it may take a while because yeah.
What are two things daters need to decide on when they go out on a date? What is their mindset like? They're preparing for this date. They're going to go out on this one date with someone you set up or someone I set up. What should their mentality be when they walk in on this date?
So even we did a match, like say, 70 to 80% match their criteria, right? And I think their mentality still not be, okay, he's going to be the one or she's going to be the one. They should work on a date to see, I want to, meet this person and find out about the person. And I don't know yet if the person will be the one for me. It's just curious and open-minded, not in a fixed mind. Because they think, oh, match make a picture for me, and then I gotta trying to figure out if he will be the person or she will be the person. That's actually really not good mentality because you're just sitting there trying to figure out if this person gonna be the one, so you don't have to date anymore. Be open-minded. Yeah, you don't know. You really don't know.
Yeah, a lot of people come to us and they get maybe what, 6 dates in the 6 months that we work together, but six very vetted dates that meet their criteria, that they're going to be excited to meet them. But before they go on that date, they just need to decide, you know what? This may or may not be my person, but I'm just going to go out and have a great time and ask questions and get to know him or her and have that mindset to enjoy being there and to make the best of it and to just decide to have a good time. Like if you just go in a date and say, you know what, Xiaoli, I'm going to go to this date Friday night at 7 and I can't wait. I'm just going to have a great time because I've worked all week. I'm tired and we're just going to have fun. Like you go to a comedy show and you just laugh, or you just go eat a great dinner, like good food and have great conversation. And two people who hate dating can still have a great date if they set their mind to it and be like, you know what? I'm just going to be the best dater out there today. And I'm
Yes.
going to
Yes.
ask questions. I'm going to try to be charismatic. I'm going to try to be funny. I'm going to be interesting and be interested. And if you make up your mind to do that, I feel like that person will reciprocate the energy. And then you might have a great time and you might end up liking this person enough for a second date. What do you think about that?
Yeah, totally agree. That's the mentality, every person go on first day, second day should have. I mean, all the dates. I used to, when I was in coaching, I used to have a female client. She was really in the beginning of dating her journey. really trying to, because she didn't want to waste the time. She was also single mom. She's like take her every day, first day count. So every time she went on first day, she was like an interviewer, right? Actually, ask a bunch of a questions to make sure the person will be the right for her. So that was exhausting. And then he didn't get much second date anyway because the guy feel like they were being interrogated like yeah, so through our coaching, I really just tell her, go on date, if we just meeting a new friend, have enjoy a glass of wine, just don't predict the result, because if even you like the someone very much, if he didn't like you back, it's 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 nothing, right? So you don't over analyzing it. So that's how she finally met her husband. So she met her husband. She said that it's totally out of her type because she just being like open-minded and going on a date to have a glass of wine and enjoy it and not to think about it. But the guy end up like chasing, after her, really make the effort. Yeah. So she's still happily married and very happy.
Good, good. Now, how soon should a guy ask a woman out on the second date after the first date? Should he wait 24 hours? Should he ask her right then and there as they're saying goodbye, good night? Should he wait 3 days and text her? Should he wait to see what the matchmaker says from
No, I think that if the
feedback?
guy, especially for the guy, if he really liked the girl, he shouldn't know follow all those rules. But it's not necessary. Say you have to make a plan for the next day right away. It just say, had a great time. Let's do it again. Um, I love to see you again. That's all you needed to do after the first day. And then you can maybe text the next day or the day after, say, hey, I just want to see you again. And when are you available, right? Uh, but if the matchmaker give the feedback, the girl is not interested, that's fine. It just the guy doesn't have to wait for matchmaker's feedback to ask the girl out again. But I would say, since you're a gentleman, it's okay if you ask and then the girl rejected you. Because usually girl will not reject you in front of you. It will be telling the matchmaker, say, hey, I don't want to see him again. So it's kind of less awkward. That's why I always suggest the female member not to ask for a specific date to meet again. Just leave open, say, I like, I had a great time. Let's do again. Let's planning something to meet up again. So it's an open question. And then after you get the feedback from a matchmaker, then you can move to the next planning for the second date. Yeah.
I started this business 16 years ago as a matchmaker, and my first marriage that I got was a male client who went out with this woman, and she did not want to go out on a second date. And I gave him the feedback that, yeah, she was kind of on the fence, but she ultimately decided to not, she doesn't want to go out on a second date. And he pursued her. He really liked her. He went after her, and they got married and have two beautiful kids. But it just goes to show that sometimes women are like, I'm on the fence. I'll just say no. Because I feel like sometimes people think there are so many options out there that it's easy for her to just say, nah, next. Just send me someone else, May. But it's not always the case. If you have a neutral first date or a positive first date, then you should go out again and see what happens. I mean, the chances of you liking someone enough to go out on a second date is pretty small. It's not like it's 80% of the men you meet you're going to want to go out on a second date with, right? It's maybe 1 in 5 dates that you go on that you really like this guy to go out on a second date with. So, what about all the people that you were kind of neutral about or okay about? Like, he's great on paper, but you're not that excited to see him again. But you never know. The second date might be different. So the point of the story is that men should pursue the women if they like them. If, maybe she had a bad day when she didn't really feel like saying yes to you, but you pursued her and she's like, huh, okay. Or she told her girlfriend, like, yeah, this guy I went out with is pretty persistent. Like he's trying to wine and dine me. And then she talks to her girlfriend about this guy and she's like, oh my gosh, he's great on paper. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. Why aren't you going out with him again? Oh, okay, maybe I should go out with him again. Like you just never know what the situation is. So
Yeah,
men
exactly.
should just
So
pursue.
if a female member tell me, well, I don't want to go out with him again, I usually ask, is there any red flags?
Mhm.
Or what's the reason? Because sometimes they will just say, oh, I don't feel the chemistry. I don't feel the butterfly. So if that's the answer, I will say, no, you need to go again, just because of chemistry. But if they say, oh, we had an argument over politics, or he's so rude to the waiters, those are fundamental. I will not force the female members go out again. But if they came back and just say, I don't know, like we had a nice conversation, I just don't feel the physical attraction or the chemistry, then I said, well, that's not a big reason. Say no, you gotta go again. Usually, I would encourage them to do 3, 4 times before really say, okay, chemistry is not going anywhere. Yeah. Uh,
I know. I feel like there's so many more reasons to go out on a second, third, or fourth date than reasons not to. It's just if they look good on paper and you had a decent time, it's like when you meet a friend of the same sex, how do you know if that woman is going to be a good friend to you? You don't know, right? Like you should meet her second time, third time to see if you develop that friendship and if you have enough things in common, if you like hanging out with them and how they make you feel when you're together, right? All those things come into play, even in a romantic relationship. So I find that people just say no so easily. Like it's so easy to get a date. Like you have to swipe for what, 11 hours or talk to people like 10 or 11 hours online dating before you get one person that says yes to you. So when you take those odds, it's like, okay, this man wants to see you again and he has no red flags. Why wouldn't you just say yes? Like you would say no if there's three guys asking you out and you can't decide what day you're free to go out with them. That's the only time I would tell a woman, you know what, go ahead and say no to them. If you have three guys waiting for you and you're very popular and you like those three guys, then yes, say no to this guy that's in front of you. But unless there's like men knocking on your doors, you should go out with them and see.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's an interesting. And then women, female members, I think a lot of time in a love illusion. It could be, I wrote a book about it, could be from a childhood, a Disney princess dream. So they always use that movie story to measure, like you're supposed to meet a guy and on the first time and then got a butterfly. That's what they're aiming for. So the any guy, it's not give that feeling, it will be no. But usually those girls like in my database for years still single.
Oh, yeah.
I just want them realize that, on their own, one day it's like, okay, I need to do something differently.
I know. I
Yeah.
wish there was like a sitcom or a movie that would address this, would be like a dating situation between the female lead character and the male lead character, and then they have these dating situations, and then they fall in love at the end. It's like there's just so many smart women out there, and they make great money. They're very educated, super smart and doing very well in their careers and make smart decisions at work. But when it comes to their personal lives, those decisions aren't that smart, aren't that great. And which is,
Yeah, it's a totally different skill set.
yeah,
You're successful in business, those skills can be used in dating because dating is more emotional thing. It's not business. So if you use a business mindset to deal with dating, it's not going to work. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Well, Xiaoli, thank you so much for coming on the show today and talking about dating. Now, before I let you go, can you talk about what kind of clients come to you and who you really enjoy serving and helping and just how to reach you?
So clients coming to me, from age 30 all the way to 75, in different age, life stage. But mainly is either because I'm an Asian matchmaker, so all my female members are Asian. So either they are Asian looking for Asian partner, or they are not Asian but also interested in Asian, looking for Asian partner. So I deal with 30 to all the way to 75. Could be your software engineer, your business owner, CEO. We have a different package for different type of clientele as well. Because love is no boundary, like who cannot find love, everybody can find in love. So yeah, to me it's I'm more passionate to help clients if they are really passionate about Asian culture and Asian partner. That's the foundation of my business. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, thank you for coming on the Asian Dating Podcast. And I will put all of your information in the show notes. And ladies, if you are single out there, the only way for me to find you is if you register with me and fill out a profile with me. So please go to twoasianmatchmakers.com. And if I find you, I can set you up. And then if you're looking for an Asian matchmaker, please contact us at 310-867-0851. Thanks, Xiaoli.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye.